This is my testimony of what happened to me February 6, 1990 at 9:01 in the evening. Thanks for listening.
Hello. My name is Doug, and this is the third part of a three-part series. And the purpose of that whole series is to tell you about my experience, my personal experience with God. This is why I believe in God. That's the question that I was addressing. There are many that, don't believe that God is real. And I'm telling you with all certainty that the Word of God, the biblical history in the Bible is all true, and that God is active in our lives today. He was active in my life, my whole life, for whatever reason. Although I lived like hell, was not deserving of anything, but He did it anyway. So if you haven't seen the first two videos, I suggest you go see those. But this, I want to just address the things that happened after that night. Now, like I said, I got changed on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I went out and I decided I was going to read the Bible. And God started me on this pattern where He would wake me up in the middle of the night, and I would have to read certain passages of the Bible. And He would lead me there just by unctions or whatever. I'm not sure how He did it. I remember one night, as He was running me through the Word out, because I was coming down in my basement and praying prostrate on the floor in that one spot, just face down as far as low as I could get. Because when you come in contact with Almighty God, it's you see yourself for what you are, which is zero. And on this night, He had me looking at different passages. As a matter of fact, I was rushing down the steps. And as I was coming down the steps, He said, Leviticus. Ordinarily, I hadn't heard about any other Bible verses or anything like that. But when I was running down the steps here to get to the spot, He said, Leviticus. So I turned to Leviticus, and I'm looking, and I'm going, and I'm looking, and I saw this one part that it was talking about how they were going and burning bread. They were burning burning bread on the altar and all this kind of thinking. And I was thinking about something. I said, oh, Lord, I thought He wanted me to go over and burn some bread in front of the church door. But I'm going to tell you what, I was going to go do it. If that's what He wanted me to do, I was going to go burn some bread right then. But anyway, what had happened on that particular night, He had me looking through the Bible, looking at different things. And then I saw this picture of Jesus. And let's not get into the controversy of what He looked like. I mean, come on now. But they had a picture of Jesus, and He was praying like this. Okay. Looking up and on His knees. And as soon as I saw that, all these drive and unctions went away. And God was telling me, get up off the floor. You're my kid. You're my son. Hey, I don't want you groveling, because that would be no different than my children coming in and groveling up to me, trying to, I don't want that. I want them standing tall and trusting me and know that I'm there for them. And that's what He was showing me. See, you have to learn the ways of God. And there was a number of things that He had to get straight with me. Because, I was an arrogant kind of guy anyway. And I went into the ministry, but before that, I started going over to my father's house, my dad's house. He had put together a book. Apparently, He put it together for me. But, He had put together a book of just a bunch of scriptures. But He had done this long before I had come along to do any of this. And didn't have any explanations next to the scriptures. He would just say a topic, and then He'd put a scripture there with no explanation. As a matter of fact, my sister has already published that book. And but I do know when I would go over there, he wasn't a teacher. He wasn't a teacher. And so the way the lessons would always go, he'd have me read the verse, and he'd say, "You know what that means?" And I said, "No." Just read it, just read it. And he would holler at me until I got it, and then I would get it, and it went on like that, and he did me like that for a year. Then that following year, I went into the ministry, and I had a couple opportunities to preach during that year. Like 5 or 6 times I got a chance to preach. But my dad was only allowed to come to my very first sermon. That was it. And after that, every time I would get ready to preach, he'd be fine. And then as soon as I got ready to preach, he would get sick again. He had myeloma cancer. And I didn't understand that, and he would often say, well, if God don't heal me, if he don't want to heal me, take me home, take me out of here. He would say that. And I said, oh, Daddy, don't say that. Don't say that. And he left here rough. And I didn't understand that at the time. As a matter of fact, the last time, because it took him about a month to die, out at Bethesda Hospital. And I remember one of the last couple of times that I saw him, I went in there and he was laying in the bed. He was writhing in pain, and they had put some gauze on his eyes and he couldn't see, and the gauze had stuck to his eyeballs and all that. And the doctors were saying there was nothing they could do. And I said, give him some pain medicine. And they told me they couldn't give him anymore because they didn't want him to be addicted to it, and he was dying. I turned that place out. When I left there, he was resting peacefully, and from that point forward, I told him, I said, I don't want him to move. I don't want him to move. So they gave him the medicine and all that, and I did find out some things after he passed away that helped me understand why he left here so hard. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm glad I didn't know until after he passed. So I'll just leave that there. And then the other, now, my wife didn't marry a preacher, and I got a very strong and powerful woman, and and she kept me from going crazy a lot of times, but she was strong enough to stop me. That truth be told. But this whole thing about God and preaching and all that kind of stuff, she didn't marry that guy. She married a guy who, motorcycle, hot riding, drug doing, fun loving guy, and I was still that guy, but God just kind of wrecked all of that. He kind of wrecked all of that. So on this one particular night, I had an exercise bike in our bedroom. And I had been down here and I was always pumped up. It's almost like you feel like Rodney, he described the feeling as bees, man, the bees. I was always, just pumped all the time. And this was like a couple of weeks after all this stuff had begun. And I was up there on that bike, and I'm it's about 2:00 in the morning. I had to go to work at 7 or 8. And I'm up there pumping this bike. Yes, Lord, yeah. Because I had so much energy. I was pumped. I was fired. When God, Elisha, I know that Elijah outran the horse. When God fires you up, you can do anything. And but I'm pumping this bike. Yes, Lord. And while I'm doing that, I had an open eye vision on that bike. And I saw the same image that I saw when I was up. I died on the operating table. Get part 2, and I'll tell you all about that whole situation. But I saw these three beams of light coming towards the earth. And it was right there in the middle of the room. I could see it, but I could see through it. I'm pumping that thing, bro. I'm just about to tear the thing up. So, then my wife, opened the door and everything kind of quit, all the vision stuff went away. And she come in and she says, "We need to talk." I said, "Oh God, we don't need to talk." And, you know what that means. And she just told me straight out, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for this. So, so we had a long discussion. I said, "I don't know what you want me to do, but hey, ain't nothing I can do about this." You know what I'm saying? This is it for me. So then she went in the bathroom, and we had a 6-panel door on the bathroom. And those 6-panel doors has the top section is a cross. Well, I went to bed, and I was asleep when she came out. The next thing I know, she come over, she's shaking me, eyes as big as saucers. And she told me that when she came out the bathroom, she looked back at the bathroom door and the cross part at the top was bright, like shining. And she said it was going, So, but she says, when she kind of turned her head to shake me and look back, it was gone. I didn't see nothing. But from that point forward, we didn't have no more issues. And then whenever we did, I had the ace card. Hey, remember that cross? Hey, go talk to him about it. Another thing that happened, because I was kind of an arrogant guy, and I remember I was up at Wendy's and feeling special. God didn't call me. He didn't, as if I had something to do with it. And so I went to the Wendy's to lunch. I'm sitting up there and I'm just thinking about the Lord, and I'm just so happy and grateful and thankful and all that. And I sat up there and I said, "Lord, I give you my all. I give you my all." But I'm telling y'all something. You can't even spell all. All. Jesus gave it all, but nobody else did. What he did, as I'm saying that, I heard him say it inside of my head. It was not my thought because I wasn't thinking like this. My son was about 12. My daughter was about 7. And he said, will you give me your son? And I knew what he meant. And it broke. I started crying in the restaurant. I said, "Oh Lord, forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." So if you're sitting up here thinking, I hear people saying, "I give God my all." Shut up, you lying. No, you don't. No, you don't. Only Jesus did that. That's why he came, because he had to do that for us. So don't even think you that holy. And nowadays, this so messed up that for us to even be considered for the way they're dealing with the stuff on television, they'll go back in a person's history. They'll be, 45, 50 years old, and they'll go back and say, "Yeah, but at the high school prom, you had on blackface." Well, or you cussed somebody. Or you tried to kiss a girl in the hallway. Or you tried to, nobody can pass that test. And if you think you're that good, you lying too. No, you ain't. No, you can't, And humility is recognizing that you ain't all that in a bowl of milk and you ain't no better than nobody else. Under no circumstances. Ain't no big eyes and little U's. We all on one plane as far as God's concerned. Okay? And I'm just one slug trying to tell another slug what God did for me. You know what I mean? That's what's really going on. And then so now on the Thursday after that first incident, on that my incident was on Tuesday, and it was I remember it was Thursday, and I was sitting in my office. I had a little private office down over there, and I'm sitting at my desk and I'm all fired up and wired up and pumped up and, just feeling just like Superman. I felt like Superman, you know what I mean? But I also had some things I wanted to do, some things I had in motion, some stuff, it was dirt. It was all bad stuff, all dirt stuff, things I wanted to finish up and all this kind of stuff. So it was like, just like that, 1 minute everything was fine. The next minute I realized that God is in charge of everything, including me. So I was sitting there at my desk feeling all good. And I had the nerve to say, well, Lord, give me about a year. I got some things, I want to finish up. But then when I come back, I'll do anything you want me to do. And all of a sudden, all that good feeling just went, whoom. It was gone. I threw my hands up, Lord, please, anything you want me to do, I'll do it right now, please. And he came back, and I never said that again. Nobody. See, you can't put nobody in front of God. You know what I'm saying? He don't accept second. He don't want to be second to your anything. You know what I mean? It's very much. The Bible describes our relationship with God as a marriage. And he's married to the church, and I'm the church. So if you're part of the church, you're God's lady, basically. That's how you had to look at it. And because he died for his lady, he came back for his church. And just like, in a good marriage, ain't nobody gonna accept nobody else in there. No priority that makes them less than them. So I've got a number of things that God wants me to share. But I just started right there to introduce myself. And at least you know where I'm coming from. And with that, thank you for listening. I'm out.